Hey guys, so I wanted to finish up my Neptune series with Neptune in the 12th house, and I'm actually really excited to create this podcast because the 12th house is one of my favorite areas of the birth chart to look at. The 12th house rules your subconscious mind, and normally the planets that fall into this position in your natal chart are often suppressed in a sense. But with Neptune, it's a very, very different kind of suppressed because you can't really suppress Neptune in the house of its own ruler. Pisces and Neptune rule the 12th house. Like I said, it's your subconscious mind. It's known as the house of undoing. It's the house where things are hidden, and think like psychiatric hospitals and like jail cells. But with Neptune sitting here, don't think of Neptune in the 12th as a bad thing, because I love 12th house Neptuners. As a Pisces, like, these people like gravitate towards me, and I'm like, come hither. With Neptune in the 12th house, you are highly psychically receptive. I mean, like, big time. And a lot of these people, which I've noticed, like, by talking to a lot of people with Neptune in their 12th, it's something that as a child they were kind of not, it's a good way of putting it. They kind of weren't encouraged to express. Like, I've known a couple people with Neptune in their 12th who are, they were raised in like very religious homes, so like psychicism and stuff of like a mystical nature wasn't really something that was like encouraged. Another thing with Neptune in the 12th is that these people can be highly creative. I mean, like, some of the most amazing artists that you've ever met. The 12th house being like a house that kind of suppresses energy and kind of hides it away, with it being your subconscious mind and Neptune sitting there, these people have to work harder to get to Neptune energy, kind of. Like, they have to kind of like sift through the fog in their subconscious in order to get there. But once they can, especially if they're like devoutly spiritual and focused a lot on like meditation and stuff like that, like, these people can experience like some crazy shit, like out of body experiences, some serious astral travel type stuff. Like, if you can tap into that, you can get, like, find a direct link to your subconscious mind, which, although it does take longer and they have to be more disciplined in this area, once you like get in there and you can like work with that Neptunian energy, like, you are the boss. But the more that I notice, like, I have a friend who has this placement. I'll probably send this podcast to her, actually. The more that they like work with it, the like better they get at it, and they have like these incredible experiences, and their creativity just flows in this like completely open and beautiful way. A lot of people with Neptune in the 12th like to experiment a lot with I don't like using the word drugs, because with Neptune in the 12th, like, you literally are just kind of like getting closer to your Neptunian energy. So, like, I know a couple people with Neptune in the 12th who smoke a lot of weed. We'll just put it that way. And it really does help them tap into that creativity and, like, really just let it pour out of them. And they are incredible artists. Probably I know just artists with this placement, but I bet they would make incredible musicians at any kind of, like, profession where you're just letting out your creative flow. Like, just meeting with your divine self. That's a good way to put it. So with Neptune in the 12th, you're working with an energy that was probably suppressed when you were a child. You weren't necessarily encouraged to be creative. You weren't necessarily encouraged to be spiritual. But if these people, like, and most of them do, as they get older, do learn to tap into this and, like, learn to accept that they are incredibly psychically receptive, and that, like, most of the things that they see are there, and that the little voice in the back of their head, like, really is real. Like, they can become incredible psychics, incredible mystics, incredible healers, and amazing artists. So yeah, Neptune in the 12th house is probably one of my favorite placements for Neptune, just because any planet that you have in the 12th is, like, although it's harder for you to tap into it, it definitely brings a lot of gifts of the spiritual nature and, like, the psychic nature. And being ruled by Pisces, these people just do come off as a lot more Neptunian, a lot more just mystical in nature. I'm guessing that Neptune in the 12th could also, especially with Neptune, well, that would be transiting Neptune, but depending on the sign of Neptune, especially if you have Neptune in, like, a water sign and it's in your 12th house, you could probably definitely be dealing with, like, some serious telepathy and shit like that too, which would be really, really cool. So yeah, that's Neptune in the 12th house. I think I've probably covered pretty much all the basis on that. Next, I'm going to go into Uranus, and I think that I'm going to stop recording on Spreaker and start making videos. I don't know if I'm going to be in said videos or if I'm going to do recordings like this, as it's a lot easier for me as I'm swinging on the swings like my little Pisces self that I am, to just kind of like open up my recorder and do it this way. But I do plan to also make more videos where I am like interacting with the camera as well. So yeah, Neptune in the 12th house is a badass placement. You guys should seriously be out there getting your hands dirty, indulging in all of your creative and spiritual senses, because you guys definitely have a direct link to the divine.